Hello, everyone. This is the video for uh the week 11, week 12. Yeah, it is about maybe 5 o'clock Monday afternoon. It's getting dark out. So let's get started on whatever I got to cover for this video. As usual, what I like to cover, intro, outro to stuff from last week and what's coming up this week. Some audio problems from some of the videos. I've got what else is there? Drop deadline, honor lock activation, and then the last thing is evaluation, instructor evaluation, in particular the one for me. Okay, so let me start with the intro outro stuff. So the stuff that you did last week, section 4.9, 4.10. 4.9 is Newton's method. Okay. That's a really important section if you want to do anything in the form of applied mathematics or computer science. Um, and 4.10 dealt with antiderivatives. Thankfully, both of those sections are not on the test that's coming up. So, woo, so you can sort of kick that to the curb for now. Study 4.1 to 4.8. Okay. There are assignments due for them, right? But it's not going to be on the test. Yay. Okay. All right. That is intro, outro. Oh, forgot. Outro or intro to all of this week. Exam two. Okay. And I've got a couple more things to cover. It should feel exactly like exam one. There's going to be a practice exam. There's going to be and there's going to be the actual exam. Okay. All that stuff is getting set up. You should be able to see practice exam two right now, along with the honor lock stuff for it and everything else. Okay, so but I'll cover that a little bit later in this video. Okay, that is the intro outro stuff. Um, the next thing, audio problems with some of the videos. So some of the videos in particular, I think I got an email for section 4.9 where the audio sort of is absolutely horrible for a good chunk of the video. Thankfully, I still have the masters for them, so I can go back in there, double check the audio, and if I really do need to re-record the video, I'll do it. In which case, I'll let everybody know either tonight um, or tomorrow afternoon sometime. Okay. Besides that, thankfully though, 4.9 is not a section that I'm going to put on the exam, so you don't have to, percolate on it too much. Let it go for now, study the other stuff, okay? Um, third thing, um, drop deadline. So the drop deadline for LMC, for any class at LMC, actually for the entire district, is this coming Friday, November 14th. Okay. If you're looking, so suppose you're, sitting down and you're looking at your course progress and you're really far behind and it doesn't look like the grade that you want is going to be the grade that you're going to get, right? Um, you have until this Friday to drop with a W. After this Friday, you will have to receive a grade for the class. So you're going to get A, B, C, D, F, one of those four, five. Okay. Um, There are some rules behind getting a W. In particular, um, a W won't hurt your GPA. It'll count as you took the class, right? But it won't hit your GPA. Okay. So there's a bunch of other rules that go along with it. If you're, on the fence, uh, the best thing I could tell you is go to your counselor or go to admissions and records and discuss the matter a little further with them. They've got all the rules really. Okay. Now, in terms of dropping, like I said from the beginning of the semester, I myself am not going to drop anybody. Okay. I have seen the most amazingest of comeback stories. I've had students that have had a low 40% right after exam one, and uh, through the rest of the semester, they picked it up and they finished off with a B. I've seen it happen, okay? And I don't want to eliminate that a possibility for anybody in here, okay? However, though, that means a lot of the decision comes down to you all, okay? So within the next week about, have a seat, think about it, count your ducks, right? Find all the eggs and say like, yep, I think I might be able to do this. Okay. If not, right, this Friday is the last day you get to drop. Okay. All right. That is the drop deadline. Um, Honor lock activation. So, for exam one, there was a handful of instances where I got write-ups for them for students, right? Which is great. That means you're at least doing the work, right? But I did not get an instance of honor lock. I need to make sure that the person that's taking the test, right? The person that is, spilling their brains on the paper is the person that's enrolled in the class. Okay. The only way I can do that is by some form of proctoring service. I need to make sure that you are you and you are the one taking the test. Okay. Now, with that being said, uh, this happens every semester. The honor lock has problems. People don't know if it's working or not. I remember when I was watching people's recordings, most of the time, they had people in the. I don't mind people in the background. That's fine. But I hear people in the background is like, and one of you guys is like, "Is this working? Is this how it works? Is this right? Am I doing this wrong? No, no, okay, right, okay." That was actually the scenario for a lot of you. Um, no matter what, right, during the practice exam, you are allowed to activate practice exam 2, the honor lock for it, to test it out. And if you need to, I'm on Proctorio. I'm on Pronto. I'm on my email. If if there's ever any doubt whether or not this thing is working or not, you can shoot me an email. I'll respond directly like, yep, I've got an instance for you. That's it. Okay. But now, uh, just to clear up what's supposed to happen, I want to go ahead and run through honor lock activation with everybody in the video. Okay, so let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, there we go. I'm sharing my screen. So hopefully you guys see this is the homepage for our Canvas course. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off my camera because it's going to need my camera in order to do the full activation for everything. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to do this with the practice exam in particular, since that's the one that's already up. Okay. In order to activate Honor Lock, what we're going to do is, let me close that, is I'm going to go over here. You guys see over on the left-hand side of the screen by the menus, right? There's something that says Honor Lock 1.3. So I'm going to click on that. Okay. This opens up Honor Lock whenever it decides to work. Come on. There we go. So you guys see how it says practice exam 2, third party, launch. So I'm going to click on launch. This is where it starts doing stuff. So first of all, you have to make sure that you're in Google Chrome. Honor Lock will not work if you're not in Google Chrome. Okay. Go ahead and agree to their stuff. Systems check. Asks you stuff, asks you stuff. I'm going to begin authentication. This is where you're going to be asked to provide a picture of yourself and your ID just to make sure that you are you. So here I am. You guys get to see my little sprout. So bam, take a photo. Woo. There we go. ID verification. So it I'm hoping that everybody has a picture ID. What I'm going to be using, I'm going to use the webcam because it can do that. What I'm going to be using is my staff ID. Look at those pretty cheeks. Yay. Okay, and I'm going to take the photo. Bam. Boom. That's all I need. Okay. After that, I'm going to go ahead, hit continue, start room scan. You can grab your camera whenever it decides to, whoosh, okay. Grab your camera or your laptop, right? Spin it around the room, go, right? Bring it back over. And then I'm done. Okay, it'll review and I'm going to go ahead and hit yes, submit. screen share. Since I need to make sure that you are not using anything outside of the required things. So you can use Desmos on your tablet. You can use Desmos on the test, right? What I don't want to see is any of the AI tools. So ChatGPT, Wolfram Alpha, Google Gemini, any of those, right? I should not be seeing that on your computer screen. Okay. Um, I need to make sure, like I said, I need to make sure that the ideas, the solutions, the work that you are providing are coming from you, not any outside things, not any outside aids. Okay. All right. So at this point, HonorLock is ready to go. Okay. I have set it up so that you guys see where it says right here, find your assessment through the LMS. I'm going to go ahead and hit open site. It'll open this. Now, this is me using my student account on my instructor account. So that's why that happens, right? But simple fix. I'm just going to go back into my course. So at this point, if you guys take a look at the very bottom, you see this around the entire web page. There's this blue box, and at the very bottom, it says assessment in progress. Okay. That means you got that all working out, right? Your camera's on, everything's on. Okay. That means HonorLock is working as it should. So if you see this blue box, if the camera's floating somewhere working, right? HonorLock's ready to go. At this point, you should be able to go. Let's go to modules. I think I made it simpler this time, kind of simpler. I'm going to collapse some of these menus here, some of the modules here. Exam 1 we already did. Module 4, exam 2, bam. And right here you would click on the exam and then just start it like you would any old homework problem. Okay? So that's it. Once you click on practice exam 2 and just hit start, you're off to the races. Okay? Like I've said, let me stop share and get my camera back going. Yeah, camera. Come on. Okay, stop share there. Camera. Bam. All right, there we go. And there we go. Okay. Like I said, practice exam 2, it is a direct clone of exam 2. Okay. It's not going to be the same questions. The questions will cycle, values will cycle, functions will cycle. So you will not, more than likely, in the 5 attempts for your practice exam, they are most likely, very highly likely, not going to be the same. So they're going to be different problems as you go through. They are going to cover the same concepts, right? But the problems are going to be different. And you're still going to have the 2 hours, okay? Practice exam 2, the highest of the 5 attempts sticks. So if your second attempt is the 120 out of 120, that's the one that sticks. You can take it over again, okay? But you already got the highest score that you can possibly get on the test, okay? And you do not have to show your work for the practice exam. Okay. For the actual test, for actual exam 2, you do. So it's to your benefit to try out the practice exam as many times as possible. Okay. That's why I give everybody 5 attempts. Okay. I haven't decided when to put the exam because as I learned from the previous exam, some of you guys actually have 8-hour-a-day jobs on Saturdays and Sundays. Okay. I mean, I did too, right? But I was thinking most of you did not. That's my bad. If need be, I can move the test around for some people and within reason. I do need to have as many people take it pretty darn close to maybe this weekend as possible. Okay. That is it, I think, for HonorLock activation and exam 1 stuff. The last thing, the absolute last thing that I have to cover is instructor evaluations for the course. So it just so happens that this semester I am being evaluated as an instructor. Okay. So I have two classes this semester. You guys online, and then I have an in-person Calc 1 with an algebra support. Okay. Somebody has already come into my in-person class. They've observed and they have left. I'm waiting for their write-up. Uh, that leaves you all. In particular, what I want to sort of point out is that this person is already hanging out among you virtually. Okay, this person's already in the class. Okay, and they're going to be in here for the next week. Okay, until this coming Sunday. Uh, Specifically, the thing that I would want everybody to sort of keep an eye out um, for the class is student evaluations. Okay. Um, in in-person class, somebody would come in with some papers or something, and you would write down all the goodies and the baddies of the instructor, and then all of this would be sent to somebody to compile into a nice little paragraph list thing, and then the instructor would get it, right? They would get all of these responses and they would read them through. Okay. Uh, Fortunately, you guys all are online, right? The way that we do it for online is an email shows up under your mailboxes. Okay, so that's what I want to mention to everybody. Keep an eye out in your emails for an instructor evaluation. Okay, and I'm going to probably put this out there for the next 2 weeks, probably up until maybe the week before Thanksgiving. I think would be my best bet. Just keep an eye out for that evaluation, and if you can go ahead and fill it out. I do read them. I don't read them until the end of the semester. I do get them. I don't read them until the end of the semester. I have to hand in your grades first. Okay. So yeah, sound good? I think that is it in terms of an update for this video. I think this video is long enough. Um, I'll let you guys get to it. Study for exam 2. Like I said, no matter what, you're more than welcome to come visit me in the tutoring center on campus, 12 to 2, sometimes even longer, maybe sometimes 12 to 3, depending on if somebody sets a bear trap somewhere. Tends to happen a lot. So come visit me there. I'm on Pronto, and I'm answering emails. Answering emails. Yep. Uh, any other questions? Any other questions? Just let me know. Okay. Besides that, happy studying.